guys, it's me. I'm back.
What's up, party people? We're like, Max, come on.
All right, this show is taking a turn for the.
I laugh every time I see that info. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Monster Bass Live. My name is Rick. If this is your first time tuning in, first of all, thanks a lot for tuning in. Secondly, we've got an action-packed filled hour for you. My guest today is Lunker Hunt Pro Matt Airy. We're going to talk a little bit about next month's takeover, and if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you will by the end of this hour. Our sponsor today, as always, Liquid Death. Got to drink it. It's great. Yeah, it's been a little bit since we've seen you guys, so hope you guys all had a really happy Thanksgiving with your families, kicking off the holiday season, getting ready for, well, we just had Hanukkah, and I guess we got Christmas coming up and all the other holidays. So hope you and your family are having a great one. As always, we're going to have the golden tickets. If you're unaware what the golden tickets are, you know, your individually numbered ticket that comes in your Monster Bass box. We'll call them out, and if you're the winner, you're going to get a whack load of gear that's been sitting in my garage just waiting for you. So make sure you got your golden tickets ready. You know, it's been pretty interesting. You know, we're getting ready to plan for the end of the year or in the start of next year. And, you know, we're making a lot of changes. And obviously the most notable one that you guys have probably already seen is that we had to go back to the boxes. You know, for the last 18 months, the supply chain issue's been hitting just about everybody in the fishing industry. And for the longest time, I was just like knocking on wood, like, wow, this is weird. It's not happening to Monster Bass. But lo and behold, it did. And so we had to go back to the boxes because our bags are just, I don't know, lost at sea with that 5-mile floating plastic debris. I don't know. So we had to go back to the boxes, and we're gonna do that for a couple months, and then we'll go back to the bags because I know everybody really likes those reusable bait bags. So I'm really excited about the next 3 months. We got 3 takeovers, 3 strong takeovers. You know, we like to do these takeover boxes in the winter because, you know, a good portion of you can't fish. Some of you don't like chasing rod tips on the frozen tundra. I get it. You know, I've never actually done it. Hoping to go up to Minnesota and visit Sam Moore and do some ice fishing. But we got 3 killer takeovers. We got Lunker Hunt in January, American Baitworks in February, and Z-Man in March. I mean, 3 outstanding boxes. And our guest today, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the baits that are coming up. He's made a lot of money fishing these baits, so you know they're good. And of course, they're from Lunker Hunt, so what more? You know, probably some of my favorite people in the industry. John Goldfarb is a good friend, and he's always been supportive of Monster Bass. And so anytime we get an opportunity to collaborate, I think it's a good day. So, you know, here we are. As always, the chat is monitored by the best customer service on the planet, the better half of the bearded bad man himself. We've got Bethany Rudd on the support line. So if you guys want to just, you know, tell us how great we're doing, that's what she's there for. I mean, if you got a problem, she might be able to help you too. But for the most part, let's give her a break. She's recovering from the COVID, so let's be kind to her, and let's make today an easy one for her. Looks like we got a lot of people in here. We got Dunbar Outdoors. We got a lot of people. I see Greg Whitaker. Yes, make Bethany Rudd rich. Anyways, all right. What do you say we just jump right in? Don't forget, folks, the hotline is open. I'm going to give away something at the end of the show. And so every question you ask Matt or myself, get you entered in. Either that, or if you want to, you know, super chat, that kind of thing. Everybody gets entered into something. You You know what? I got a prize pack sitting there for about, I don't know, 100, $200 worth of baits. Every question that gets asked today gets an entry to win that box of baits. So what do you say let's open the phone line, Jared, just so we get it primed. Guys, just take your time. Don't worry. I know. But let's not. What is Jared doing? You know, McLovin on the Dan Patrick Show is leaving. I might be able to get him. All right, can we I know you're multitasking right now, but you think we could bring in our guest? Or all right, folks, so let's not waste any time. We got an hour, and I want to be in and out and be respectful of your time too, because I know it's dinner time on the East Coast. So our guest today, he has been on tour, if memory serves me correct, since like 2007. God, I hope I get this right, or I look like an idiot. I think he's been on tour. He's been on tour since 2007. I think he's been with Lunker Hunt since the very beginning, or at least close to it. And he's one heck of a stick. So let's give a warm welcome to our guest today, Matt Airy. How's it going, Matt?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Thanks for having me on, man. I'm wondering if I can start submitting some questions so I'm eligible to get that free box of baits here in a little bit.
Yeah, no problem. We can do that all day. We can do that all day. Is that your man cave that you're sitting in? I see a lot of I see some fishing stuff, and I see some Barbies. So
nah, yeah. So this used to be my office. We built this house about 6 years ago, and it quickly turned into my girls' playroom. So I have two daughters, 9 and 4, and as you can see in the background, I'm surrounded by Barbie dolls.
Yeah, I know that all too well. I mean, I used to have this cool house, and then I got infiltrated by what I call tiny terrorists. These two little girls come in and literally I mean, it went from the most manly house to the least manly house on the planet. But wouldn't have it any other way, right? So
that's right. Amen.
Yeah. So how long have you been with Lunker Hunt?
Oh, man, Lunker Hunt's probably one of my most long-standing sponsors, and you said it best before I came on. John and Jesse are they're like family. They it's just a great duo with those two. Dave McDonald that started the company years ago and kind of got it off the ground. I've been with them. Man, I'm probably wrong. I want to say at least 10 years now, and we just re-upped another 3-year contract, and I hope to retire with that company, man. I've been really pleased, and like I said, they're like family. We just one big happy family. Got some great guys, great brains, great engineers working for the company. A lot of cool stuff in the works. A lot of great stuff that's going to be in this box coming up, and we're going to talk about a few of those, but a lot of baits too that have been pretty vital in my career over the years too. So.
Well, why don't we get started just talking about some of those baits that have helped you win a little bit of money. So for everyone that's sitting at home, I don't know if you can see this, but I got a list of all the different baits that are going to be in the takeover box, and it's too many to go through all of them because they make a lot of great baits. And the hard thing about when we decided to put this takeover box together is we've had a fair bit of Lunker Hunt in the box over the last couple of years, and we didn't want to put duplicates. So, you're not going to see things like the Spider because, it's already been in the box, but there's a ton of other great baits, some of which we might as well talk about right now. What of the Lunker Hunt baits that are going to be in the box, can you share with us, what's the one that's probably won you the most money?
The stick, hands down. I mean, the Lunker stick, which I've got my personal favorite color, the coffee red flake there, and that stick. I use the black and blue. I use the leech color, which is similar to like a green pumpkin. There's just so many ways to fish a 5-inch stick bait, and it's definitely. I've made more money off that bait than any other bait in my arsenal. That's as far as Lunker Hunt's concerned. But another bait that's in that box that actually was a pretty important piece of the puzzle for my second place finish this year in the Bassmaster Classic was the compact frog. That bait's in the box. That's a bait that I'm really excited about because it's been out for a little while now. It still kind of flies under the radar a little bit because Lunker Hunt's got such a big lineup of frogs, a lot of great frogs, poppin' style frogs. The Lunker frog the original Lunker frog that won ICAST back years ago and kind of jump started everything for him. And but the compact frog is more of a tournament ready frog. It's a compact frog. It comes already trimmed with the little legs there. Camera, but and it's got the hooks, super sharp razor hooks, but they're already slightly turned upwards. A lot of guys do that once they get a frog out of the box, just increase their hookup ratio. But that frog definitely played a role in the classic this year, and it does for me. And anytime there's a frog bite, I like that frog particularly when there's very little wind, there's not a lot of commotion on the water, very still, it's very calm. It's a very subtle frog. It's a skirted frog. And it's a little bit smaller, like I said, but if the wind picks up, things like that, I'll go to more of a popping style frog. But that compact frog is the deal under extremely calm conditions.
Now you mentioned
it's a stealthier approach.
Now you mentioned that Lunker Hunt took, they went the extra step to point the hooks up. It's interesting to me. Every time I talk to somebody about a frog, they always talk about the hooks being tuned, the hooks being pointed up. If everybody talks about it, why does some of the brands just not bother to do it? Like, is there a thought behind it that some people think it's not better to have them turned up?
Well, depending on the body style, the actual body of the frog, it may just be easier for manufactured purposes that they leave them turned down because they don't get maybe they don't get stuck on the body, or they don't fit as nicely, or they don't have as much of an appeal when they're on the shelf. But the legs are trimmed up on this frog too. I don't know if we even mentioned that, but that's one thing that a lot of guys do to actually help the bait walk a little bit more. But yeah, with the upturned hooks and the compact size and the trim legs, the pre-trim legs, so to speak, it's truly a tournament ready frog. But yeah, the hooks, the biggest thing about those hooks being parallel to the body is the reason it hurts your hookup ratio is because they actually have to come more at an angle like this. So if you think about when that fish clamps down on the body of that frog, once they compress that body, if those hooks are turned up, you're immediately going to get a better hookup. Right. So you're going to have a hard time hooking them right there in the top of the mouth if those hooks are parallel with the body.
Yeah, that seems logical to me. What's your thought process behind, I've seen a lot of guys, they trim one, they trim one more than the other.
So it's funny because we do a podcast, Brian Thrift and I do, called Let's Talk Fish. And we've gotten to big heated debates about that on our podcast, talking about, and here's my take on it. I mean, it's physics, it's common sense to me, and that's what I tell Brian. And he just looks at me and tells me I'm an idiot for lack of a better term. And it's thrift. So I mean,
sure.
How do you argue with that guy?
He's a hell of a stick, that guy.
But I say, for a first time frog fisherman, trimming one leg shorter than the other, you create more drag on one side. Hence, the frog on slack line, when walked properly, should turn and cut a little bit easier. I mean, doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So Van Dam actually, I was watching this and I recorded it on my phone and sent the video to Brian because Van Dam was talking about frog fishing, and he gave that exact tip to beginning frog fishermen to help the frog walk a little bit better. And when he did that, I recorded that tip and I sent it directly to Brian, and I said, look, if anybody knows, this man should know. And then, his response was, I ain't never seen Van Dam throw a frog in his life. And I said, well, I guess he's got a point there, but you got to respect the man, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, KVD speaks, we listen.
That's right.
Yeah. Right on. What else is in this box? Is there anything from the Impact series that we're going to see?
Yeah, so one of my little favorites, and actually it's a bait I've been throwing some this fall, especially for schooling fish and things like that. One thing in the fall is you're dealing with, especially in the southeast region, a lot of smaller bait fish and things. And what they're feeding on is like this year's bait fish hatch. A lot of the threadfin or the herring that have hatched this year, and they're anywhere from 2.5 to 3 inches long. But it's a great little bait. It's actually called the Commotion. It's a topwater bait from the Impact series. It actually has a cup lip on the front. and it throws water and it walks very nicely, creates a lot of commotion. It's a smaller, more compact walking bait.
Sure.
If you can see it in my hand there, actually. And that bait is only it still weighs a half ounce, and it's got a little rattles inside there. Makes a lot of noise. You can cast it an absolute mile. The bait's only about 3.5 inches. I think it's 3 5/8 inches long to be exact. So it's still a small walking bait that you can cast a long ways and target schooling fish with. But it's a great little bait for just when there's just a strong topwater bite, especially even in the post spawn. When the shad are spawning and the herring are spawning, things like that, you can catch them on that little dude too.
What we got the classic coming up in a few months. Is there you've obviously you've been down there before. What from the lineup of baits that we see in this box you think you're going to be throwing?
Well, Hartwell is a phenomenal lake for a 5-inch stick bait, fished many, many different ways. If you remember the last classic, I believe Jordan Lee won that one. Anyone on a wacky worm.
Yeah.
He had several different things in his lineup throughout the entire event, but the final day it was a wacky worm. It was a 5-inch stick bait, and the stick's going to play a role for sure. The other thing about a stick is you can fish it 50 different ways. I like to nail weight that thing, fish it on deep docks for suspended spotted bass. I like to fish it on a 3/16 quarter-ounce jig head deep in some of those ditches down there on Hartwell. But something that's a little bit more outside the box type deal that I believe is going to be in this January takeover is the Big Eye. Is the Big Eye in there?
I don't know. What show it to me. Oh yeah, the Big Eye's in there.
Yeah. So a little tail spinner. Lift and fall retrieve. Fishing it in the wintertime, I've caught a lot of really nice spotted bass on tailspin type baits. The Big Eye is new to the lineup this year. We've got the original Lunker Hunt tailspin, but the Big Eye is a nice addition to that lineup, and it is a bait that catches multiple species too. But it's definitely going to be on my deck during the classic. I can promise you that. It's something that may just be the key to getting that one extra bite that puts you over the top. Especially if it's a tough bite.
Yeah, is the Big Eye like one of those old school Little Johns kind of thing?
Little George,
right?
Yep, very similar.
Okay, gotcha.
Very similar.
All right. What do you say we take a couple calls?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Before we do that, let's do this golden ticket thing here. All right, guys. Why don't we get our golden tickets ready? As you know, I'm going to call it the individual numbers. If that's the number on your golden ticket in this month's box, send an email to marketing at, God, I almost said my old company, marketing at monsterbass.com, and we'll send you out a prize pack. All right, the first number is F9514D4364. All right, let's jump on this. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, what's up, Rick? What's up, Matt?
What's going on?
Just enjoying having Matt on here. What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? Huge
I'm
fan.
good, buddy. How are you?
Good. Hey, Rick, real quick, my last name, I appreciate you saying it. It's Whitaker.
Whitaker?
Whitaker. There you go.
Instead of saying Whitaker?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, man.
Hey, no, don't be sorry. Hey, Matt, just had a question. When you almost finished Angler of the Year in 2019, I think you finished 10th. What was your, your go-to bait that year?
Let's see, 2019. That was that's the first year I switched over to the Elite Series. So I'm trying to think of everywhere we went. We started off in Florida as usual, and let's see. Oh, I think some of my top finishes that year, Lake Gunnersville was a top 3 finish, and then the AOY tournament at St. Clair was a top 10 finish. A couple of those obviously propelled me in the AOY standings, but I caught a lot of fish that year on the jig, a ton of fish that year on the jig, and several different styles of jigs. But the Gunnersville finish that really stands out. I was actually stroking a 3/4 ounce football jig, doing something a little bit different than everybody else in the field. And I was on a deep bite, as were a lot of the other guys, but stroking that 3/4 ounce football jig was definitely a key player in that event. And I caught fish throughout the year. I caught fish on swim jigs. I caught fish on regular 1/2 ounce flipping jigs. But a jig was probably the key player as far as the majority of my success for that first year over on the elites.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, I've been following you since the FLW. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, Rick, thanks for taking my call. Looking forward to the box with the lipless this year.
Right on.
And yeah, looking forward to Lunker Hunt. Lunker Hunt Z-Man is in March.
Lunker Hunt, and then we're American Bait Works, which is Net Bait, Scum Frog, Freedom Tackle, a few others, and then Z-Man in March.
Well, hey, awesome. Well, hey, you guys have a great night.
All
nice
right.
talking to you, Matt.
You too.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Whitaker.
I'll see you.
All right. Bye. All right. Let's go to, don't forget, guys, every time you ask a question, you get entered in for a drawing. So let's go to one of our favorites here. What's going on, T-Rex?
Hello, Matt, Rick. How you guys doing?
Good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just sitting here on my phone and watching you guys on my computer over to the other side of the room. My question for you, I actually have two questions. I'll make them quick. Number one is, who inspired you to get into fishing? And the second one, what's your go-to food on your boat when you're out fishing?
You want the truth, or you want what I should say about my go-to food? No,
I want the truth.
Yeah, no, well, I have a variety, so we'll go over a couple of them. But as far as my inspiration, I've got a couple. I mean, my dad really, nobody in my family fished growing up, but I was fortunate enough to grow up on a little small lake here in the Carolinas called Moss Lake. It's only a few thousand acres. And because I was able to grow up lakeside there, I spent a lot of time on the water. And, from when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, I started fishing in actually a paddle boat before I actually had a little John boat. And I would just come home from school every day and paddle around the cove. But when I was old enough, my mom and my dad would actually take me out on the lake and just let me spend a few hours out there casting and practicing and doing this, and got into tournaments as quick as I could. But they were definitely an early inspiration. Both my parents were very supportive. From the time I was 5 years old, I wanted to be a professional bass fisherman. And I've told this story many times, but I even told my guidance counselor in elementary school that's what I wanted to be. And of course, she looked at me, kind of rolled her eyes, but I guess it's like one of those sayings, "Look at me now," So, but no, as far as boat snacks, I've got a wide variety, and I try to eat as healthy as I can when I'm on the road, especially when I'm on the water, whether we're putting in a lot of idle time or whatever. But I do eat a lot of fruit. I eat a lot of dried fruit. Like I love dried apricots. I keep a lot of apples in the boat. I eat some Cliff Bars. As far as the unhealthy stuff, I'm old school. I still like good old can of Vienna sausages. And I really like just the the pork, not pork skins, but the little fried strips. I can't remember what they're called. I'm drawing a blank.
Pork rinds?
No, not pork rinds. They're like fatback. We sell them in the Carolinas, and they're little. God, now I'm drawing a blank, but they're y'all are looking at me like I'm weird.
No, I'm looking at you like, where have these things been in my life? Because like anything that's pork skin related sounds delicious.
It's unbelievable. Cracklins.
Oh yeah, of course.
Cracklins. Yeah, sorry. And seasoned with a little red pepper. And I keep a bag of those in the boat every once in a while. But as far as, I eat a lot of fruit on the boat, honestly. I mean, I keep a lot of fruit, but I like dried fruit and I like apples. I keep a lot of those on the boat.
Nice.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. I know Rick's cutting it, on an hour tonight, so I don't want to talk too much. I know a lot of people want to get in here. I hope you guys have a good holiday if I don't get to talk to you before, and have a great day.
Thanks, man. I hope you have a great holiday.
You too.
All right.
I'll be having a great one. I'm be smoking a 25-pound ham.
Oh my God.
There you go.
You know, we're gonna have to spend a little more time on this. You know, you come on my show week after week, and you talk about all the stuff that you're smoking, and then you threaten me with a good time, right? You always say, you know, one of these days I'm just gonna show up. You have an open invitation at Rafi's house, and he keeps talking about it, and yet you don't show up. So I'm starting to wonder if you're really in California or not.
Oh, yeah. I'm right here in good old Lemoore, California, right next to NAS Lemoore.
I have no idea where that is.
And if, you know, I didn't have so much going on with the wife, I would have been down there already, but Mama comes first.
I know. Take care of the priorities.
You'll see me next year. I promise you that. I give you my word. You will see me next year.
Oh, well, we're already planning. We're planning to get together up north by you guys, so we'll have to figure out how to make that work.
I'm still going to come down there and see you guys.
All right, great. I look forward to it.
All right, buddy.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You guys have a good evening.
All right, you too. Bye. All right. We got time let's do one more really quick. We're going to Shelby, North Carolina. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, this is Scott from Boiling Springs, North Carolina. Just not fishing information, but I just wanted to ask Matt how his new Franklin pickleball paddle was working out for him.
What's up, Scott? So that's
hey, bud.
Rick. Yeah, I recently picked up a new hobby. Not that I need one, but I picked up pickleball. Playing a little pickleball lately. You know what pickleball is, Rick?
Tell me.
You know what tennis is?
Yeah.
Actually, Scott's the expert pickleball player. Scott, you explain to Rick what pickleball is.
Well, it's kind of in between ping pong and tennis. Played on a smaller court than a tennis court.
Okay.
Use paddles instead of a racket and a plastic ball, and it's just a load of fun. And I used to fish a lot and play golf, and started playing pickleball, and pickleball bug bit me, and I haven't done anything to play pickleball for the last probably year or two.
Wait a minute.
And just recently met Matt and his family, and they're great, and all of them are great pickleball players, and it's just been a blast getting to meet them and getting to play pickleball with them.
Is pickleball? Nice. Hold on a second. Is pickleball, Rafi? Is that the thing that you play with pole? Yeah, it's paddle tennis out here. Oh yeah, out here we call it paddle tennis.
Paddle tennis.
It's. I'm not gonna. I almost used a choice adjective on this, but it would have been the end of my show. Yeah. Okay. Pickleball. All right.
It's a lot of fun. It's a good work. We need something to keep us in shape in the off season. And I used to play some volleyball, and then it got a little too risky. I was turning ankles and all kinds of mess. And pickleball, I think's a little bit safer. What do you say, Scott?
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, probably so. Yeah. It's rougher on older people like me. I'm turning 65 day after Christmas, so it's a little bit rougher on me than it would be you. But yeah, it's still a really fun sport, and I sure enjoy playing it.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm really enjoying the show.
And Rick, don't let them fool you. They play a lot during the week, and since I have a career as a professional bass fisherman, I'm like the youngest person there because I'm the only one that's not working Monday through Fridays in November and December. So a lot of them are retired, right? Like Scott, and they beat me.
Yeah,
they beat me like a redheaded stepchild out there every time I go. But I'm getting better.
Well, hey, don't let him fool you. He's really good. He's good, but if he's been playing as long as I have, he'd be beating me like a yellow dog. So yeah, don't let him fool you.
We have fun with it.
Nice. I'm gonna have to give this a try.
Yeah. Well, great talking to you guys, and I'm enjoying your show very much. Thank you very much for answering my call.
Scott, thanks for calling, brother. We'll see you soon out there on the pickleball court.
Okay, buddy.
All right. Oh my God, Delta Airlines. No. Let's give away one more golden ticket. I'm feeling in the giving mood today. All right, the next golden ticket is C5999V3719. Please help me clean up my garage. It's full of fishing tackle, and if I don't get rid of it, she's gonna be very upset with me. So let's if you're in the holiday mood and you feel like helping me out, hook a brother up. All right, let's before we take any more calls, let's I see Brendan's on the line. Brendan, I'm going to ask you to wait just a minute. You've only been on hold for a minute. Let's bring on Mr. Gambit 2000 really quick, and let's see if he's got. He might actually have a question for you. Let's see what he has to say. What's going on, man? Oh no!
Uh-oh. Freeze.
Here we go, guys.
Oh.
We're from the 213, and we're here with the man, Mr. Rick Petrie. What's up, guys? You know, Mr. Gambit's in the house, jumping on the Monster Bass team, and glad to be here.
What's going on, man?
What's
We're
that?
doing good. Now, I'm seeing how cool your hat is, and you know I got a new camo kayak. I want one of those hats, man. So you know you give those deals, man. Let me know what I got to do to get a hat.
How about I just send you one?
All right, you can send me one. What's the cost of them?
Well, I'll send. I mean, for you, I'll hook you up.
No. You gonna hook me up, but you know something I want to do. So that hat's so cool, man. Let's do something fun. Let's see if we can give everybody in the house a super Rick deal that you give everybody. You know, you give the best deals, some of the most ridiculous deals that people go, what the fuck? Oh, what? What did he? Did it come up that real price? So what? We're gonna do something here. We're gonna do a good price for the people. So tell me, what can we do it at? Can we do something so cheap that everybody in the house right now got to give one and stocking stuff for their friends?
Sure. What do you want to give the hats away for?
I tell you what, let's do a $6.99 deal. Can we give everybody a hat for $6.99? I know that's cheaper than you do the ridiculous deals, my man. You know they're ridiculous, so let's do something ridiculous.
This hat?
Yeah, that hat, man. Let's do it. Make it ridiculous. Come on, let's do a ridiculous deal.
Sure. Why not?
I tell you what. We wanted to do it all night. Let's do it for an hour. If you could give us a code, give Ralphie a code to put on the site. Let's make it Rick Nation, and give that code. Give them a code to go ahead and see if we can give everybody a deal.
All right. Okay, so Rafi, make the code Rick Nation. And all right, folks, I guess for the next we'll make it for the next 2 hours. You can get this hat for $6.99. Use code Rick Nation. We'll put it up on the screen, but only for 2 hours.
I love this man. Look at what he did for you guys. Come on, guys. Tell your friends it's a stocking stuffer price.
Oh, my goodness. I love it. Hey, you got a question for Matt?
All right, Matt. You know you've been on that bass thing for a while. Since KVD is on the other circuit, who's the scariest guy that you go, God damn it, I'm so close. This guy is stealing it and doing it. Who's the guy that you don't want to see sometimes?
Ooh, I know who he's going to say. I'm going to write it down. Hold on.
You gonna write it down?
Yeah, hold on. Let me write it down. Go ahead.
You saying who I would fear the most on the water on the Elite Series, or that somebody I don't want to meet in the dark alley one night? big difference.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, but as far as their fishing ability, we talking fishing ability?
Fishing ability, yeah.
I gotta say,
yeah, we want to do the fishing ability.
Who?
Hackney. Greg Hackney.
God, I didn't get this right.
Oh, no.
Who'd you put, Rick?
I put Brian Thrift.
He's not on our circuit.
He's not on the circuit
I didn't
anymore. He's on the other circuit.
Oh, I didn't hear you say circuit. I just thought you said it in general.
Yeah.
So you would have said Hackney.
No, I wouldn't have said Hackney.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So his flipping tactic has got everybody a little rattled, huh?
Yeah, well, I went with, he's got those eyes. like those bug eyes, like just intimidating eyes. And he's a stick, man. That dude catches them everywhere. And I'm promise you, if they're shallow, if they're less than 5 foot of water, he's going to be a dangerous dude to deal with.
Trust me, I grew up with guys like that in Georgia. The crazy cooter looking guys that
You
basically
know,
you don't know if they're gonna cut you with a hook blade knife or hit you in the mouth.
that's right. And he's from Louisiana. They the same way down there.
Yep.
Oh,
And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. It's the holiday season. I know this bass season is gonna be good for everybody, man. Everybody's geared up to have a regular year. We can't wait for a regular year again.
right on. Right on. Well, listen, man, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for giving away all my hats. And I see in the chat people are asking, is it all the hats? No, it's just this hat today. So you've got a couple hours, I guess. What did we give them away for? $6.99?
$6.99. That's what I'm talking about. Rick's the man. Come on, guys. Give Rick a hand for this. You know he's a good guy. Look at those sites. He gave good deals out all week long. Every other day he was sending out those Christmas deals, giving you codes saying, come and get some of this stuff. He's doing the WTF prices all day long. So catch him on a good day. I think we got him on a good day. Get that hat. That is a great hat to start the new year off right. I know I'm going to get mine for my kayak.
Right on, man. All right, man. Well, listen, you have a happy holiday if I don't talk with you. And I appreciate you jumping on, man.
All right, brother. You guys take care. All right. All right,
All
then,
right.
Matt. Take care, brother.
All right.
Happy holidays.
All right. Bye. All right. Matt, you look like you're like, what the hell just happened?
He fired me up, man. He's got me ready for the new season now. Normal season. He said it best. We just want a normal year, normal season, normal industry,
Yeah. I think we all do. I mean, it's getting a little ridiculous. I mean, I think there's a reason why if you take the Omicron and rearrange the letters, it spells moronic. Like, this is getting ridiculous. Like,
It's getting crazy.
it is out of control. Out of control. All right, we got a call. Let's take our next caller. This is he has called more times than anyone else in the history of the show. I think I think that's true. Go ahead, Brendan. How's it going, man?
Nothing much. How are you guys?
It's great. How are you?
Doing well.
That's awesome. So, just wanted to tell you guys real quick. There's an awesome deal that just rolled in from MONSTERBASS today. It is a buy one get one free on all T-shirts right now. Rick, do I have your permission to give away the code to everybody?
Sure.
All right, the code is free T, and all you have to do is just add both T-shirts to your cart, and then just add the code, and you'll get them. So there's the deal.
I appreciate the shameless plug. I mean, thanks.
Yep.
Did you have a question for Matt?
Yes, I do. Is it okay if I have two questions?
You can have three.
Okay. So, Matt, it's very nice to meet you, and I would like to ask you a question about what is your favorite type of fishing? Like, do you like flipping? Do you like deep cranking? Is it top water? Like, what is your favorite way to fish for bass? And it's either smallmouth or largemouth or spot.
We'll go as far as the species concerned, any species, because I'm just going to say sight fishing. Sight fishing is staring them down. There's nothing better to me. I love staring them down and be able to watch them, in their natural state, their protective state that time of year, and just irritate them and making them react. That sight fishing is just one of my favorite deals, and I wait all year to do that. And we have a short window in the Carolinas where it's really, really good, but fortunately we get to start off in Florida next year, and that's usually always a little bit of a factor down there in February. So sight fishing is probably my favorite way to catch them. A good frog bite would be a close runner up, though. A good frog bite's hard to beat.
Yeah, Matt. Before we go on to the next question, there's 14 million new anglers that entered the market because of COVID, and I'm sure a couple of them that are new to fishing are listening today. Can you explain sight fishing to our audience?
Well, yeah, sure, and it's a little bit more complex. What I mentioned, it was just around the spawning season. It's what I was referring to when fish actually go through the spawning ritual. The bucks, the male bass pull in, they make their beds. The females come in and lay their eggs. The females typically leave sooner than later, and the males will hang around to guard the nests. So when we say sight fishing, we're normally talking about fishing for those bedding bass around the spawn season. The spawn season varies depending on where you are in the U.S., but typically in the Southeast, the Carolinas, where I am, that's most of the late March all the way through late April. Florida, it can be December, January, February, March. It can last for 4 or 5 months in Florida. On the West Coast, I think y'all are somewhat similar to us, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And then it varies when you go up north. Like some of the smallmouth fisheries up north, those fish spawn, in June. So it's a little bit different depending on where you are. But we're referring to sight fishing for fish that are actually spawning and doing the deed, so to speak. So, but the other type of sight fishing is just fishing for cruising bass. Everybody's seen those. If you've been to your local lake, farm pond, park pond, whatever, you've seen fish cruising up and down the banks before, a bass, and they're looking for an easy meal. And you see the same thing on different bodies of water, especially clear water reservoirs, and you'll see fish cruising the banks in the summertime looking for brim and bluegill and whatever they can ambush. So sight fishing for cruising fish is another form of sight fishing also.
Great. Thank you. Brendan.
That is awesome.
What do you got?
All right. Well, next question is, if you had one rod, one reel, and 3 lures, what would be each of your choices?
Right. Did you say one rod, one reel, and 3 lures?
Yeah. And this is all you had to throw for the rest of your life. What would you choose?
So as a professional angler, having 3 lures but only being able to throw it on one setup, it's going to drive me nuts, first of all. But that being said, it'd be I'm a loose guy. I've been a loose guy for years, but I'd have a 7.3 medium heavy rod, which is a pretty good multi-purpose rod. I can throw. I would probably have some kind of big walking topwater bait. I would have a jig, just a good old 1/2 ounce jig, and then I would have something that I could, I want a bottom dwelling bait, I want a topwater bait, and I want something that I can fill in that middle water column. So if you're just giving me 3 bait for the rest of my life, I'm going to go with a 3 to 4 inch swim bait. Something that can that way I can cover top to bottom, and I won't be in a jam if I still want my other 70,000 baits that I carry with me. But if you're only giving me 3, I'm going to have a big topwater bait. I'm going to have a jig to fish slowly on the bottom, and then I'll have a swim bait so I can cover that mid depth range at the middle of the water column. And that 7.3 medium heavy is a pretty versatile rod. I'd have a 7-to-1 gear ratio bait casting reel, probably a loose TI, and spool it up with some fluorocarbon, some P-line fluorocarbon, and I could fish all 3 of those lures. I'd have to. Can I carry some extra line at least, like an extra spool of braid? Okay.
Sure.
All right. I'd carry a spool of braid too, but then I think I'd be set.
What's your PB?
Yeah.
My PB? Y'all being on the West Coast probably laugh. I've got a 10.2 and a 10.1. So I've never caught anything over a 10.2.
Wow.
Now you got to remember, a 5-pounder in the Carolinas is a giant. Neither one of those were in the Carolinas. So
that's amazing. Brendan, what's yours?
Yeah, that is a good tip. 9.8.
Oh my God.
Well, Rick, come out with it.
5'11". Smallmouth. 5'11" smallmouth.
Oh, that's a big smallie.
That's a pretty good smallie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compliments of Travis Manson and Epic Eric.
Oh yeah, those guys know how to small.
Yeah, we all went up to the St. Lawrence about a month ago, and we were throwing 4-pounders back like they were nothing. It was crazy. So,
yeah,
right on. And your third question.
All right, this is a very important question. So you guys make sure to listen on this. pancake or waffle? Which
What?
one?
Pancakes or waffles?
Yep, which one?
It's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Do I have to pick one?
I don't eat either of them.
Yep, just
I
one.
don't either.
They're fillers. It's kind of like rice.
Really?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm good for a bite. Give me a bite because it's, you get to sop up some syrup and butter, and I'm good for a bite, and that's about it.
Give me a fried egg, couple strips of bacon, or a good old slice of liver mush or something, and I'm rocking.
Yeah. How about you, Brendan? What do you got?
Okay.
Eggo waffles?
Waffles.
Yeah.
Homemade.
Of course, homemade.
Yeah.
Of course. You make them or your mom?
My mom.
Is she a good cook?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's her go-to? What's her go-to?
I'm gonna be honest. Waffles are amazing. I mean, that's like literally like that's my favorite thing. I know I'm weird.
No, listen. To each his own. To each his own. All right, man.
Yep. Well, I'll see you guys later.
All right. See you later.
Thanks for the questions.
Thanks for calling in. And
you both have a good day.
You too, man. And
You
thank you to Big
also, I'm actually wearing the same hat
Say what?
that you're having a sale on. I'm actually wearing the same hat that you guys are having a sale on.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, man. We'll see you later.
See you guys.
All right. Bye. Yeah, and also thank you to Big Rich and Marty Lawson for the super chat. Super appreciate it. And oh my God, those are all calls. We got to jump to these calls. Let's go to Seneca, South Carolina. Go ahead, caller.
Oh, I think that's me, right?
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I guess my question's more towards Rick, but something I'm really excited about is all the Monster Bass line like baits that you guys been putting out.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, I really like them. And my question is are you ever, how like on your website, you offer like specialty boxes and stuff like that. Where you can go and get June's box or a top water box and stuff. I was wondering when you're going to offer like just a strictly Monster Bass bait box.
Like a one-time purchase?
Yeah, kind of like a one-time thing, and you can get, because I know you've got like where you can get because I got the Patriot, the top water bait, which is phenomenal. I mean that thing, darts, side to side like 180, and I was definitely impressed with that. I just got them, but I know you can get like the kits and the bundles and stuff like that. But I was wondering when you had like a whole box, you can get like some of the seekers, some of the lipless crankbaits.
I'll tell you what.
Top water stuff.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll do. If you want, I'll create a bundle that includes one of every bait that we make.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
I actually think it's on the bundle page, or if you go to the store and go to Monster Bass and look at the baits, you can go and see. He'll put a link in the chat for you. How's that?
Hey, yeah, that'll work.
All right.
That'll work, man. I'll definitely check it out.
Sounds good, man.
But my question for Matt, though, that I wanted to ask him is I just found your guys' YouTube channel. And maybe I'm a little late to the party. I'm from South Carolina, so you have to bear with me a little bit when it comes to technology and stuff. But my question for Matt is, hey, when are you going to join on the do a video for Monster Bass YouTube channel?
So what am I missing here? What kind of video are we talking about? Like what we're doing now?
Or do you mean like an instructional?
Well, I mean, like an instructional. I was watching some of the videos you guys had on like a wacky worm and stuff like that. And that's all like really good stuff. And I'm actually really impressed, with the instructional stuff that you guys do. And I was wondering, hey, Matt, if you, it'd be cool if you could do one of those too. You're from the Carolinas. I didn't know that. I learned that from this live show.
Yeah.
But
no,
I think that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, we could figure something out. Maybe even do a collaboration with one of these Lunker Hunt baits. It's give a little tip video on fishing, fishing like the fetch swim bait, swim bait. I've made a lot of money with it at Lunker Hunt that I helped design with Lunker Hunt, or fishing the stick and how versatile it can be. And yeah, we could definitely collab and do something like that and get a little deal going where we could throw it up for you guys to learn.
Yeah, maybe what we do to keep it simple, right? Maybe what we do is we take the lunker sticks and we create a video. He doesn't even have to be in the water, and you could give us, I don't know, 5 different ways to rig a lunker stick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or something like that. And that'd be probably easy to bang out, and then we could put something together for you, and it'd be helpful, if you get the lunker sticks in your box. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty cool. And I know I'm talking your ears off, but another thing I was thinking would be kind of neat is in your bags. If you like some of the baits are new to me.
Mm-hmm.
I like things. I'm an old school guy. I still use Bill Norman.
Sure.
Some of the stuff is pretty new to me, and I have to kind of go and like research, kind of figure out how to use it. I was wondering if you could put links, like a card that had like the little barcodes that you scan with your phone, and it'll pull up like a YouTube video or something like that. That would kind of give you ideas on how to use, some of the baits that come in the bags and stuff like that.
Hold on. I'll get you an answer right now. What did you say, Rafi? Rafi said that's a great idea, and he's gonna look to implement that in 2022.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome.
I appreciate the feedback, man.
Hey, not a problem. Hey, I appreciate what you guys do, man. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Learn new ways to fish and catch fish, and it's a lot of fun just to get the box and be like, all right, cool. What can I do with this to go out and be successful? I mean, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the description. So
awesome. Well, I appreciate your support, and I really think you're gonna love the Lunker Hunt Takeover box in January. It's gonna be great. And the other cool thing is we're gonna put a code in there so that you like any of the baits from Lunker Hunt, you're gonna be able to go to Lunker Hunt's website, score yourself a discount on those baits.
So
cool.
You can,
to help stock up. So that'll be coming too.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
All right, man. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right, bye.
All right. Let's do me a favor, Jared. What are you doing? Can you Hello. How's it going?
Hey, good. It's Marty Lawson. How are you guys doing?
Marty Lawson. How's it going?
Wonderful.
Hey, I got a question for Matt, real quick off the bat. So I'm getting into using spinnerbaits, and I want to get your views on the difference with the different blades that come with the spinnerbaits. I mean, I have some guys that are swearing by using Colorado blades. Other guys wanting to use just nothing but willow blades. What is your take on this? Is it, because I'm new into this, and I'm just wondering, like, up here in Virginia, I fish a lot of reservoirs.
Okay.
So I want to throw these spinnerbaits, but I'm really kind of looking at, okay, what is the best thing to do? Where would you start?
Yeah, so I'm in the Carolinas. I'm down here in North Carolina. I'm not far from you, and you're fishing a lot of reservoirs in Virginia. I'm assuming a lot of those are probably pretty clear water reservoirs. If I had to guess, Smith Mountain, maybe some of those, Clater Lake, anything like that.
I'm a little further north. I'm up here by Fredericksburg, so it's I'm fishing the reservoirs. I'm close to Lake Anna.
Oh yeah, okay.
But of course, I have a real small boat. So going out in Anna during the summer is not a good thing. I get swamped. Sure. So I really stick to the reservoirs around here, and it's either the reservoirs or I go wading out here on the Rappahannock for smallmouth. But I've been really sticking to the reservoirs this last summer, and I got a buddy of mine. His name is Shane Flint. I just want to give a shout out to him real quick.
Shane Flynn Outdoors. He's a local guy, does YouTube videos. And he was crushing them on the spinnerbaits. And, you know, I'm just wondering, what do you think I should do? Yeah, a lot of clear water. And, you know, I think my wife's going to get mad at me because I keep buying spinnerbaits of different types.
Well,
so I'm just kind of trying to get your take on that.
Yeah, so just kind of simplify your spinnerbait arsenal, especially so your wife doesn't get too mad at you. But you know, one thing about it is I keep a lot of different I keep a lot of tandems and double willow leaves in the boat. I probably throw double willow leaves more than I do anything. But if you're dealing with a lot of clear water situation, you know, one thing about a spinnerbait bite in clear water, it's very conditional. You know, when it's dead slick, calm, sunshine, especially in the heat of the summer, and you're dealing with clear water, it's hard to get bit on a spinnerbait. But when that wind picks up, you got a front blowing, and it gets nasty outside on a clear water reservoir, especially in Virginia or the Carolinas. Spinnerbait bite can be really, really strong. 9 times out of 10, when I'm attacking that situation, it's typically a double willow leaf model, something that I can burn, cover a lot of water with, keep it high in the water column. And you know, the skirt colors, I keep it real simple: shad patterns, blue glimmer type skirts, translucent skirts, things like that. And then if you're dealing with some pre-spawn stuff, you know, some colder water situations, you get a lot of these spring rains where the water gets kind of dirty. The visibility really drops, and it's still pretty cool outside. Water temps in the 50s, sometimes even down in the 40s. You know, that's when I'll go to more of a Colorado blade combination, or even a single Colorado blade, something that gives off a lot more vibration, something I can work a little bit slower, a little bit deeper in the water column. And if it's really muddy, I'll go to like a chartreuse and white skirt, or maybe a straight chartreuse skirt, something that puts off a little bit more flash, a little bit more vibration in dirty water situations. And that's really the two things I would concentrate on. I wouldn't get, you know, there's 10 million spinnerbaits on the market, and it can be very confusing. But just try to keep it simple with those two approaches, and I think it'll help you catch a few more fish on it. But just know when to put it down. If your buddy's catching them on a spinnerbait, you know, pay attention to what the conditions were like and kind of the combinations and the setups he was using to help you kind of adjust to the situation. But also be ready to put that thing down, because it can be very conditional in clear water.
Yeah, I do notice that, you know, he crushes them when the wind is blowing, and he starts going into those coves and, you know, and plays that wind real well. You know, other than that, he's just using swim baits like Kitech and stuff like that with a small jig head. That's his go-to stuff. My go-to is a drop shot. I kill him on a drop shot when you can see that weed edge. It's really, really worked out great. Hey, I appreciate your answer. It gives me a little bit more to go on. And hey, Rick, for you, I have thoroughly enjoyed the boxes that I've been getting. And maybe Matt can back me up a little bit. I actually put an email into customer service, because where I'm living at in Virginia, I'm getting the Northeast box. Well, I'm having a little bit of difficult time because I don't really have much smallmouth here unless I go to the river, and that's very conditional. You know, and the southern box, I'm not using the bigger stuff like they're using in Florida. So I'm kind of in that mid-range area, you know, the Carolinas, Virginia, Maryland, you know, and maybe like Kentucky, Tennessee. More like maybe if you would think about doing a mid-Atlantic box, because I'm kind of caught in the middle. I'm not really a northern guy. I'm not really a southern guy. I'm stuck right in the middle. Now, believe me, I really like the stuff that I'm getting, and I'm going to put it to good use this spring. I'm not a real cold fishing guy up here, but you know, I'm looking forward to using everything. And I just want to, you know, a little feedback for you about that mid-Atlantic range, because a lot of guys here, like I said, we're stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Where we don't really have a big smallmouth bite, but we can't use those big baits like they use down south.
Here's what I would suggest. Great feedback. Thank you. I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate your support. I would say I would reach out to Bethany in the chat, and I would switch to the south, because here's the thing. Because I'm catering to such a wide range of people, there's a couple things I'm not doing. we're not throwing a ton of deep divers. We're not throwing a lot of big baits because we're also catering to someone that might be fishing from the bank as well, right? And so I got to play all these
Right.
factors and take those all into consideration. And so I think you might be okay. I really do. And I'd tell you to switch for a couple
Okay.
months. I mean, the next 3 months don't really matter because it's a takeover. But come April, I mean, it might be worth giving it a try.
Hey, Rick.
Right. I actually talked to Bethany. I talked to Bethany, and I did switch to the Southern box, just recently. So this month's box, when I get it, will be the Southern box. So
Awesome.
and she did suggest, hey, go ahead and switch for a few
Sure.
months, see if you like that better. So, hey, also, big shout out to your customer service. They've answered my questions right away. Great support there.
Awesome.
I'm tired of having to call customer support at any other place because half the time, it just takes forever to talk to someone.
Sure.
But you guys, right on the money.
Thank you.
Great customer support.
Thank you.
And you guys are just doing a great job.
Appreciate
And
it.
I think I probably got you like 10 new subscribers since I've been doing this.
I appreciate your support, man. And I hope you have a happy holiday, and I hope 2022 is the best fishing year ever.
Hey, it will be.
Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
All right. What, you were going to show us a bait, Matt?
Well, yeah, and I was going to tell him that to look for that little finesse worm, the pre-rig finesse worm. I believe it's in the takeover box in January, isn't it?
I believe so.
So that will be where he's fishing at Lake Anna. I noticed he said he likes to throw a drop shot a lot. Clearwater fishery, I believe that lake has multiple species in it, but that pre-rig finesse worm, if he's never picked up a Ned rig, definitely something he ought to try at that lake. It's a bite getter. It just gets bites. It'll catch them anywhere in the country too.
All right. Let's take our next caller from Texas. Go ahead.
Hey, Rick.
Hey.
Hey, this is Keith Hughes. I'm a veteran over here in Central Texas. I want to thank you for the large shipment I finally received today. I've been waiting for a while. It finally came in today, and I opened it up like a kid in the candy store, on Christmas Day or whatever.
Amazing.
But my question, I got two questions for Matt. One of them, real quick. Matt, you're saying that you're a sight fisherman, and I don't have. I fish tournaments. I fish all the big tournaments. So I'm not a sight fisherman though, because, and I want to get your feeling on this. I feel that when you pull a fish off the bed, and it's got all this fry around, and you stick it in a live well and you take it to the weigh-in, you can 14, 15, 20 miles away. They say the fish goes back to its bed. I just can't see how that's possible. Meanwhile, the fry or the eggs that are laying down there that the male's trying to protect, you've got all them prey, the predator fish coming there just sucking up all the little fish. What do you think about that? I mean, does that bother you? Did you still pretty strong about the sight fish?
So for us pulling, first of all, I'd say, and I've talked to some biologists on this, and I'm sure it varies based on the fishery, the population of fish. The clarity of the water is the biggest thing. But when you're sight fishing in the springtime, you might be able to visibly see 5% of what's actually spawning in that lake, if that. So a lot of those fish are going to be spawning too deep where you can't even see them. What you don't realize is there's more fish caught off beds in the springtime that people can't see than that what people are actually looking at with their own eyes. So if you think about that for a minute, if you go out in the springtime, you say you're not a sight fisherman, but you're slow rolling a spinnerbait and get on a good bite, and you're catching them slow rolling a spinnerbait, some dirty water, or you're flipping a jig around laydowns, or you're fishing dock poles, or whatever you're doing, dragging a Texas rig lizard down the bank, you're catching a lot of spawning fish, whether you know it or not. But that being said, the impact that it has, guys used to, before it was illegal, they used to snag them off the beds. You know, guys did that all. They take big treble hooks and big jerk baits, and that's what some of the old timers around here would laugh at me when I say I'm sight fishing them and they have to be hooked inside the mouth to be legal catching our tournaments and this, that, and the other. And they say, well, I don't understand that. Well, you just take a big jerk bait and just jerk it through the bed, and they'd swing at it, and we'd hook them in the back and weigh them in, you know. And I'm like, well, yeah, you can't do that anymore. So, but that being said, I have never seen. I mean, I'm 40 now. I've been fishing since I was 5 in tournaments for over 20 years, and I've never seen a lake get negatively impacted due to sight fishing. I've seen lakes cycle due to Asian carp invasions or loss of habitat, loss of grass, loss of cover. But if a lake or low water levels, you know, fluctuating water levels in the springtime, that to me, that's had one of the biggest impacts on fish populations over the years on certain fisheries, because when you get all these floods that we've had, you get fluctuating water in the springtime when those fish are trying to do their thing. That has a lot bigger negative effect on the spawn and the success of the spawn than us going out there and snatching 5 of them off the bed. I can promise you.
Okay. Yeah, I just kind of wondered because, you know, I guess there's tens of thousands of flies.
Oh.
Uh-oh. I think we lost him.
I think we lost. Did we lose everybody? Okay. Well, I'm really sorry about that.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. Well, it's I mean, that was weird. Let's go to our next caller. Oh, we won't get anybody? No, for some reason it dropped the whole call. Did it drop everybody? Yeah. So all of these people are gone? I can host back in, I think. I mean, there's a couple of people who've been waiting 20 minutes. If you're watching this at home, folks, and you were waiting 20 minutes and you just got dropped, I'm going to give you Jared's home phone number and address. And if you want to take them in, you know. All right, let's see if we can reset it quickly because I do want to be respectful of time. Are you good for a couple more minutes?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right. Rick was sending me a bunch of stuff in there. Let's see. I don't know, Jared. Are you sure? I got a dinner reservation in an hour and 7 minutes.
We're in. A dinner reservation in an hour and what?
Wait. Who's that?
Okay.
We have 2 calls on now.
Well, I was talking.
What is going on, Jared?
About red fishing.
This is crazy. Okay, hold on. Do we have a caller on the line?
Am I on there?
You're on now. Go ahead.
I heard it beat, but I heard him talking still.
Yeah, I apologize. Jared talks a lot.
It's all good, man. I know you guys are short on time, so I'll keep this quick. Me and a buddy are planning an epic fishing adventure. So I want to hear what what would be the one place you tell us that we absolutely have to hit?
Well, where are you from?
I mean, we're traveling we're going to spend 2.5 months traveling the most of the country that we can hit.
Oh, my God.
So,
yeah,
I mean, are y'all used to catching more largemouth, smallmouth? I mean, do you have a goal as far as species is concerned?
Yeah, largemouth mostly, but we're just looking to hit the most legendary places we can hit.
Okay, so I'll give you 2. Lake Fork, hands down. Lake Fork is
Lake Fork is at the top of our list.
Okay, all right, and then the other one, not just for the fishing, and this is not a place you're going to go catch 10-pounders like you potentially could at Fork, but the scenery, the people, and the fishery is amazing, and that's Lake Champlain. Champlain is a beautiful lake, and you will have an absolute blast up there.
It is a good time.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking to hear right there. We're just looking for something that, places that we want to have great memories of. That's what we're hunting for.
It's funny when you mention, you're like, all right, we're getting ready to take this epic trip. I thought they were going to invite us to go fishing with them, and
Well, hey, if we make it out your way, we will gladly holler at you guys.
Yeah, do it. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Have a Merry Christmas.
You too.
You too.
All right, let's power through these. Oh, I almost hit the drop button. That would have been bad. Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
How you making there, Rick?
Great. How are you, man?
This is Benny from Barrett, Louisiana.
How are you?
Doing outdoors? How's it going, brother?
Good. How are you?
Good. I don't really have any questions. Rafi was over here bribing people to call in. So I was like,
Oh,
go ahead and do
Rafi.
that.
What does that say about me? I don't. Come on.
He might be our pork rattling
Well, since I got y'all on the phone.
Yeah, please. What do you got?
Matt, you talk about sight fishing, and the first thing I think of when I hear that is down here in Southeast Louisiana, you go sight fishing for redfish. Have you ever done that?
So I've fished for redfish a couple times. I've actually only sight fished for them when they're actually tailing and stuff.
What does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean, tailing?
Oh, well, you can actually
So
see the
redfish,
tails out of the
they,
water.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
In small ponds. Yeah, they get in the small ponds in that shallow water, and you'll see their tails sticking up when they hunt for food, and you just cast right over the tails and pull it in.
Love it.
Yeah.
And have
you
you
got
ever
to be
fished
super stealthy.
redfish, Rick?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you ever fished for redfish?
I have. I went out with Will Burback from I was at an event with Yozuri, and I went out with those guys, and they took me redfish. It was so good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite species down here. Because we fish, I mean, the water down here is pretty much brackish water everywhere out there.
Right.
So I can be fishing for bass and end up pulling in a redfish, or fishing for redfish and pulling a bass.
Nice.
But
nice. All right.
Question for you though, Rick. Have you ever thought about doing saltwater or like inshore fishing, or is that just too far out there for now?
I have thought about it. I think we want to really perfect next year, because we're going to modify what we're doing, right? Because what everyone else does, they just send a box full of random stuff. And you know, we've broken the country into regions, and we're going to curate the baits based upon the season in the region of the country where you live. But I think that there's a bigger need, and that's to really focus on like the technique area of it, and then to break it down even further between bank, kayak, and boat, because I think a lot of the techniques and the way that we would present the educational piece will be different for a bank angler than it would be for a boat guy. And I want to make sure that we get this whole thing dialed in, so that, you know, if April's, let's just say, is Texas Rig Month, we're going to give you techniques based upon skill level, based upon, you know, the application and things like that. And then, you know, I want to get that right before we start branching off into, you know, a saltwater box.
Absolutely.
You know.
So, right on.
Thanks, man.
Well, I trust your judgment, man. You got a good thing going.
Trying.
So. All right, brother. I'll let you get on to the next one.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right, man.
All right.
Later.
All right. Rafi, you bribing other people? What's going on here? My God. If I keep drinking this liquid death, I'm going to be in trouble.
Hello, Rick.
Is that an energy drink?
Matt.
No, it's water in a can, and the company's worth billions of dollars. They basically said, why put it in plastic when you can put it into a can, recycle the crap out of it, and not drink out of plastic? Because as we know, plastic, you get little shards of plastic that just end up in your body, and they're literally worth billions overnight.
So simple but genius. And I always worry about plastic bottles when they're going through all these temperature changes, when they're getting shipped all over the country and things like that. So makes
crazy.
sense.
Crazy. All right, who's on the line?
Yeah, this is Jason.
Jason, how are you?
Hey, Jason.
I'm doing well. How you doing, Rick, Matt?
Great.
Hey, so Matt, I wanted to say congratulations. Well, partially congratulations on getting second place of the Classic. I wish you would have won. I was rooting for you.
Thank you.
And I hope that you do well in this next Classic. So I'll be rooting for you there as well.
I appreciate that a bunch.
I have no question for you, Matt, but the question I have for Rick is, Matt, you'll probably like this, but the spinning PJ pulse fish and lures, the underspin, can we get those in a bag or a box?
The specific brand and everything, or just an underspin?
No, it's got to be the spinning
No,
PJ. It's got to be the Matt Airy signature spinning PJ. It's the only one they make.
Exactly.
All right. Well, here's the deal. I can put any bait in the box that I can. The company's got to be willing to give them to me. That's the challenge. And given the supply chain issues, I don't know. Has he got an extra 10,000 lying around or?
Well, they are
you got
they
Matt
are made
right
in
there.
the USA, so we're not waiting on anything to show up. I can promise you that. But yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, because I love the underspin. I absolutely love it. I just got them in not too long ago. I went out and tested them out. Obviously, it's cold here in Ohio, so having to deal with the weather and everything with the snow. But just going out and testing them, I absolutely love them, and I think they're fantastic. So it would be nice to see a couple underspins come in, or even like with some paddle tail, like the combination.
Absolutely.
So, and I know that the pulse fishing guys, they have the split tail trailers to them, but I think the paddle tail would work better with them.
Yeah. There's the different applications
better
for
roll and
different
everything.
situations.
But I think that would also help that guy there that's in Virginia, because everything will chase a bait fish, and if you're looking at bait fish, that'll be really close to a bait fish, especially the 3.3 like swim baits or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It'll definitely chase those.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you're liking it and catching some fish on it. That bait will catch them 12 months out of the year, that's for sure.
All right, thanks for calling in. Let's. This guy's been waiting 25 minutes, so how we doing?
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to ask Matt if you ever experiment with anything in the off season, like an Inu rig or swim baits, or even put in like a small blade in front of like a crankbait to make it look like the crankbait is chasing a bait fish.
I've done some different things. We have to we have to be careful per our rules in Bassmaster, especially in the Elite Series, on how they've adjusted our rules several times since Alabama rig was outlawed, and even when I made the transition from FLW to Bass, we weren't able to even throw double fluke rigs and things like that when I came over. So if it's part of the actual bait itself, I've done some tweaking, played around with some different blade additions. I've put like the underspin, like the spinning PJ, I've used little stinger hooks on the blades themselves. Sometimes the fish will bite at the blades and you can hook them on that stinger hook. I've done a lot of modifying and testing of baits in the off season. I don't get too crazy. I do have some buddies. We talked about one of them earlier, Thrift, and some guys. I should probably spend more time doing that and less time deer hunting, to be honest with you, in the off season. But I do some modifications and some bait testing in the off season. I don't get too crazy with it though.
Cool. So, just curious. That's interesting. I kind of figured you'd be limited by the rules, but also watching what other people are doing and stuff that comes from maybe even Japan or other places.
Yeah.
Just curious, because do you think fish get used to seeing the same thing over and over?
Absolutely, and one of the things that you have to keep in mind that's as important is a lot of the there's you can be overwhelmed with stuff on the market now, right? There's just thousands upon thousands of things to choose from, and a lot of the times when you watch Elite Series level events, especially, they are won with old school techniques, and they are won. I mean, minus the forward facing sonar. Other than that, that's somewhat changed the game the last couple of years. But as far as we get in a lot of situations where just guys are flipping a jig shallow and they win, or they're pitching a little 5-inch stick bait like the Lunker stick around. And I think a lot of us forget, fish get accustomed to not only electronic advancements, but they get very adjusted to seeing the same baits over and over again. But sometimes it's just a simple change, like a cadence change, or just a simple presentation change, whether you change your depth or something like that, something super simple to get you a few more bites. But keep those old school techniques on the deck, because a lot of those are going to the wayside with the advancement in electronics. These guys are out there trying to target these suspended fish that have never been targeted before with the new technology that we have. But a lot of those fish on the bank aren't as pestered as they were a couple years ago either. So keep that in mind when you're going out there, because I think there's going to be some windows that open up in the next few years that are going to surprise some people.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for calling.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're down to our final 3. This is exciting. Drank too much liquid death. Hello?
Hey, Rick. Hey, Matt.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great.
So,
great.
It's Ashley from Tennessee.
Hello, Ashley from Tennessee.
Matt, I met you in Knoxville. I marshaled with Brian Schmidt. It was cold and rainy and miserable. But I just was wanting to ask, how do you handle tannic water?
How I handle what now? I'm sorry.
Like tannic water, like the dark, like tea water, the black
colored
water. Yeah.
Yeah. So we see a lot of tannic water, which I call it kind of black water or tannic water, but it kind of that tea, that deep coffee tint to it's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I treat it, tannic water to me has a little bit different tint to it. It can be deceiving when you look at it. When you drop a bait into it, sometimes you can see it a lot deeper than you think you can. But I treat it typically like I would, almost like I'm fishing at night. I know that kind of sounds silly, but I use darker baits most of the time in tannic water situations. Like if we're talking about the Lunker stick, I'm using like the black with the blue flake, something like that. As far as a jig, I'm typically staying with black and blue jigs, something dark that stands out a little bit more, and you can actually silhouette a little bit better in that actual tint of water. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Well, I know you guys are stretched for time, so I hope you guys have a great holiday.
Thanks, you too.
You too.
All right, let's try and we're in the final stretch. This is great. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, guys.
How are you?
Hey. Good. It's Steven calling from North Texas. Man, I know y'all don't got a lot of time, so all I was going to say was Merry Christmas. And thank you for putting a rod cover in the bag this month. I thought that was pretty cool because I was planning on getting some, but I was short of money because it's the holiday and all.
Yeah, well, I appreciate your support, and anything I can do to give back and show my love to you guys. Gonna try to do it every time.
Oh, absolutely. Best damn bait bag out there, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I actually did a video for one of y'all's bags a while back. I'm a YouTuber myself. # 40 acres. If anyone is out there wanting to watch, we are sport analysts for the University of Texas. But it didn't do too good, and I think it's more on my part. I'm not the best at teaching, but I did try to do my best to support y'all and let people know that y'all are the best bag out there. You know, I mean, y'all do what y'all do, and ain't nobody come close.
Thank you. I appreciate
I'm gonna
it.
let y'all go. Yeah.
All right. I hope you have a good holiday.
Yeah, you too, man. You too, Matt. Y'all both have a good holiday. I was there at the Dickey Arena, man. I was rooting for you. So I'm right outside of Fort Worth, so I was there. Oh, absolutely, man. I was rooting for you.
Thanks for the
Ain't got it,
support.
but it is. Yeah, next year you got it, man. Hook 'em.
We're gonna try.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, listen, when you make your videos, right? Like everybody sucks the first time. don't get discouraged. Just keep at it, right? It's just a matter of it's like time on the water, right? You're only going to get better with more time on the water. You're only going to make more videos the more you make them. So just keep trying, and I'm sure you're going to make great videos. We're down to our last 2 calls. This is exciting. Go ahead, caller.
It's you. It's you.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Doing good. How are you guys?
Great. Thank you.
This is Dustin from Georgia. My only question is, I just got a boat, and I was kind of wondering what the first few things I should do.
Take it out and use it.
Go fishing.
Oh, fuck. Well, I should have mentioned it's a project boat.
Okay. Wrap it with MONSTERBASS. I don't know. Go ahead. You should ask Matt. Ask a guy that owns a boat.
Do you have what's it got on it so far?
Well, it's actually, I just got it. I know it has a Garmin fish finder, and it looks like it has something for Humminbird on it. I just haven't found it yet.
So throw those in the trash. Get Lowrance first.
Ah.
And then, no, does it have I'm assuming it has an engine that runs. Does it have a trolling motor on it?
Oh, yes. It has a Minn Kota trolling motor.
Okay. So you're set up and ready to go fishing.
And I got a
for the most part.
Evinrude 110.
Okay. All right. And you've had this boat out in the water?
Only once.
Okay. Got you. Well, I tell you, I mean, there's a lot of different things you could add to that boat, but if you're looking to make a good investment, I mean, it's especially being in Georgia. Are you fishing a lot of the? Are you going to be fishing a lot of the local lakes like Lanier and places like that? Or are you going to be more in rivers, or where's your going to be your go-to fishing places?
More likely Jackson and more southern Georgia.
Okay.
I probably will make a trip to Airy eventually, and Lanier.
So some shallower grass lakes, Seminole, places like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it doesn't have them, I definitely look at potentially getting me some power poles. The power poles are worth their weight in gold for a lot of different reasons, but especially when you're fishing, if you're fishing any rivers that have a lot of current, if you're going fishing by yourself a lot, you can use those power poles when you unload the boat, just to keep you from having to worry about dock space or tying up, things like that. But you can anchor that boat in those shallow water grass flats, and you can anchor it in heavy current situations, and it'll be a huge asset to you moving forward for all kinds of different fishing situations. So that's one thing that I think you mentioned the boat may not have, but may look at adding a set of power poles to it eventually.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, guys. And I know you guys are pressed for time, so I'll let you guys go.
All right. Thanks a lot for calling in. Appreciate it.
Thanks a bunch.
All right. And our last caller of the night. Let's do it. I have to go to the bathroom.
Hey, Rick.
Hello?
Hey, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is I got cut off a while ago, and there was 2 of us on the phone at the same time. But this question's for Matt. Matt, for over the last 5 years or so, there's been discussion through BASS and some of the other circuits about the electronics. They're getting so high tech now and everything, and they're saying it's not really fishing anymore. It's not giving the fish a fair chance. I've got the electronics myself, but the big question is, what is your thought about that? You think BASF will ever come down to saying, all right, you guys need to downsize, get away from wide scope and 360 and all that stuff? What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, so that's a very, very interesting and complex question, because we've talked about that on our podcast, Let's Talk Fish with Thrift. And, one thing about it is I don't think the industry will allow that to be limited. You don't want to put a limit on technology for a lot of reasons, because it creates it has us backpedaling from an innovational standpoint. But from a competitive standpoint, a tournament angling standpoint, it has definitely changed fishing at our level drastically. It doesn't really matter if I'm a fan of it or not, to a point, because I have to utilize the best tools out there to do my job at the level that I fish at, because it is how I feed my family. Now, that being said, sometimes I just want to kick that thing off the boat and never look at it again because it will drive you crazy. Just because you can see them doesn't mean you can catch them, and you still have to really be a super versatile fisherman and know how to make adjustments to trigger those fish to bite. And I've caught myself spending way too much time looking at that when I need to be up there on the bank fishing some type of old school technique in order to do well in the event. So, like I said, I don't think the industry and the companies that are involved will allow there to be limitations set on the technological investments that we're going to see in the future. Because 3 years ago, who would have thought we were where we're at today? And 20 years ago, I would have never thought about it. But now I'm thinking the sky's the limit. It will always be that way, and I think you'll continue to see advancements. You'll continue to see amazing innovations come from companies like Lowrance and Garmin and Humminbird and there again, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of it because it has changed fishing from what it used to be, but at the same time, it definitely helps the weekend angler and people out there to take advantage of the new. I mean, crappie fishing. I don't know, y'all call them crappies, maybe where y'all are from. We call them crappies in the Carolinas. But I mean, it's like taking candy from a baby out there now, looking at a brush pile, and I can tell you there's 6 crappies in that brush pile, and I'm going to throw my jig out there on 4-pound line, count it down, and I'm going to catch every one of them. Then I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to go to the next brush pile. It's just changed fishing. But there again, you still have to say you have to know when to say when to not pay attention to it, when to pay attention to it, what to throw, how to make the fish bite. It's changed the game a lot, but at the same time, I don't think BASS will be making rules to limit our electronics at this point. Maybe the number of units, but not the actually what we use as far as the technology is concerned.
Okay, well, I appreciate that answer, really do. Rick, I know it's short time, so I'm going to let you go. Matt, thank you very much for the answer.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot for calling in. Oh, my goodness.
All right, bye-bye, guys.
All right, bye. All right. Matt, thank you so much. I know we ran over. I appreciate your time and you coming out to talk a little bit about Lunker Hunt and some of the baits that we're going to see next month. And, if we can get you to, at some point, if we could talk with you, I'd love to get 5 ways to rig a Lunker stick, and just on the phone, that'd be amazing. Like, if you're serious about that, I'd love to reach out to you afterwards.
Yeah. And I'll be glad to knock something out. Y'all just let me know, or y'all know how to get a hold of me,
sure,
so we can figure something out.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, so from everyone here watching, thank you for taking time out of your day to be on the show, and we wish you the best of luck in 2022, and thanks for taking the time to be with us.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thanks. Happy holidays to you too. All right, 2 more golden tickets, folks. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm dying. All right, K6320H9460 and C3274V4365. And then in terms of, what is this? Oh my God, crap. I don't have crap in my garage. I have fishing gear. I didn't say crap. I have, I'm going to pick, oh my God. Marty Lawson. Marty Lawson, you just won yourself a box of crap. No, you got yourself a box of fishing gear from a garage, and I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I had a really great time. I know we went over. Head over to Burley Fishing. Give those guys a follow and go harass them in the chat. Thanks for I can't even think straight. I gotta go pee, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot. Bye. Oh my God.